things can go wrong as a man with um, relatively your life together, and you try and start a relationship with a single mum. But what I want to sort of bring as a point is, I don't know from my experience if single mothers are necessarily single. Now, not by way of masculine company, but by way of the fact that their children are security of company for them. Now, whilst the child might be the problem and the interference in a developing relationship for the mother, the fear of being single, whilst may hurt the woman to some extent, depending on her level of partner bonding and enmeshment with the person that she's with. If they go with their child or their children, which they should, due to a malfunction or a dysfunction or some other issue that can happen in these relationships, if her security of company is in her children, which 9 times out of 10 it is, given the maternal values and the responsibilities that come with that, then covertly and indirectly, the woman's not single at all. Covertly and indirectly, because of the bond, the emotional bonds and maternal bonds and relationships that the mother has with her children, covertly she is not single at all. Does that make sense to you? Because every time I've gotten into a quandary with these women, it's usually based around the child or children. It's usually an interference or some kind of complaint or undermining voice or villainizing voice from the child or children or young adult. And the source of the problem for me has been the answer to the problem for her. I want to say that again. The source of the problem for me was a complaint or some kind of protest, ongoing, developing, intensifying protest or complaint from her children about me or her relationship with me. But her answer to that problem has been, to go with the children. Remain with the children. Now that's not an issue in the sense of for her, because she's defaulted back to what she knows, and that's the fact that her children ain't going anywhere. But what they fail to realise is this repulsion and disappointment that you suffer as a man, right? The incurableness that you suffer as a man on the end of this does no justification to the relationship or her at all. In fact, again, single mothers aren't specifically single, because a lot of their emotional needs are met by the child or children. So if you're not suiting the domestic tribe, the mother, child, children tribe, tribal customs, tribal ways, tribal opinions, tribal judgments, and you can't fit into those, then you will be in trouble. You will have to find a way to either tolerate that or diminish. Either way, it's only going to initially hurt the woman briefly, because her emotional attachments will return to a default, which is the children, which means, really, was she ever single at all? Well, for the masculine part, yes. But for the rest of the part, her security and all the other stuff, no. So that goes to show you how fickle your position is as a man with the majority of single mothers, because the majority of single mothers, by way of their maternal needs and emotional default formations, characteristical formations, while she needs a man, are based around her children, which means the man is not as valuable to her as her children. This is just common sense. Now, some women will push things with, my mother was one that just said, stay out of my relationships. Simple as that. And we knew not to get involved, which were healthy boundaries, which let her get on with her life and us stay out of it. Because children have always got an opinion or a criticism or some kind of destructive idealism to bring things down for the mother. But our mother had enough sense to go, get out of it and stay out of it. She was pretty incredible like that. And I guess that's why relationships lasted. But these women who are so emotionally enmeshed, attached, enmeshment, and all the rest of it with their children, they have no comprehension, full comprehension, on how to navigate a man that's not the DNA father of her offspring. And the children most certainly do not want anybody else around, because it's foreign to them. It's an intrusion to them, as nice as they might try to be. It's a deep spiritual opposition to that kind of thing. And again, this is predictable, and it has to be accepted for what it is. It's no good pretending that it's not going to happen to you or it doesn't exist, because it does, and it will. So, are single mothers single? Personally, I really don't think so. I just really don't think so, because my experiences with these single mothers has been to the contrary. They default back to their children, and you are no different to the wind. This is Dr. Jason W. Morrison, Theologist, New South Wales, Australia. Bye for now.